Well, it's sunny somewhere, but we seem to have a bit of sea fog that's rolled in here as we leave Harwich Harbour.
Yes, we do, and sea fog is not really what you need when you are trying to enter the River Deben with its treacherous sandbanks. We carried on with caution and used the radar to pick up the markers that are very close to the beach. As it turned out, when we were within 100 metres from the shore, the fog miraculously lifted to reveal a beautiful sunny day. It was with great relief that we were able to use our eyeballs for entry, and the tide swept us in.
That was a very sketchy entrance.
It certainly was.
It's funny, as soon as we approached land, the fog was gone.
Yeah.
So the fog was sitting only on the water.
Yeah.
Olive.
Well, here we are.
Martini.
First dinner, River Deben. Very happy to be here. Ashley doesn't know what all the fuss is about yet, but hopefully she will. I was a little bit stressed coming in, for which I had to apologise to my crew. But we're here, and we're safe, and we're good, and we're anchored, which is awesome.
Welcome to the beautiful River Deben. This river is recognised as an area of outstanding natural beauty, and to me it is easy to see why. Its wetland areas are designated to be of international importance under the Ramsar Convention. The river provides many dreamy locations in which to sit, reflect and take in your surroundings. Wildlife is abundant, and it is a privilege to be absorbed by its nature and beauty. Please sit back, relax and allow us to try and convey some of its beauty to you. Why do we get told that we should save for a rainy day? What if, when that rainy day comes, it's raining too hard to do anything? I don't want to look back and wish that I'd played in the sun. I want to look back and know that I did.
Right, knob jockey?
Yes! Good! Knob!
Right, Miss Krasuska.
Right, Mr. Thompson.
What's the procedure?
The procedure is let this off. So you have to remember righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So turn left, right?
Left or right?
With formalities and technicalities concluded, Asher drove us the mile or so from our anchorage in the setting sun to Bawdsey, at the eastern side of the entrance to the River Deben. Bawdsey is a lovely little place to land. We walked out in a direction towards the sea and were able to look at the entrance that we came through earlier that day. Bawdsey Manor itself is beautiful and rich in history, including being used during World War II to track enemy ships. Living this adventure now lifestyle means we spend a lot of time in nature. Far from getting used to that, we are continuously reminded how many surprises nature throws at you. I've heard of deers swimming to small islands on the west coast of Scotland, but seeing a deer return to the beach after a swim on the Suffolk coast was a new one on me, and quite a sight to behold.
So we followed the deer up here. Thought it looked pretty exhausted, but it came to this spot, and it seems that it knows this hole in the fence. So back home after a spring dip. Fair play. This coast of Suffolk certainly does seem like it's under attack from the sea and erosion. Lots of effort made over the years to try and stop the continuous pounding.
Dusk is just surprising, the colours.
Almost infinite. Doesn't feel like it's going to get dark, does it?
No.
A new day and a new venue. This time, Felixstowe Ferry itself, on the western side of the Deben's entrance. It's the kind of big game fish you can catch from Felixstowe, River Deben. The current confuses them and they basically jump on your boat. Here we are on the Felixstowe side of the River Deben entrance, so we can see where we came in yesterday and some of the slightly naughty looking sandbanks that show themselves. And that is the entrance we came in through there. So very important that you get that right, and you can see that from here. Very nasty, unforgiving sandbanks there make for a stressed crew. Cockpit enclosure up, which is not always how it will be. It will be rare, but we have to test it to see how well we can cope with boat manoeuvres, albeit only anchor drops, when this thing's up. How are we doing in there?
Good. Feels really weird with lack of visibility all around.
Yeah.
I sort of prefer when the cockpit is off.
Yeah. Well, I think what we'll always be doing really is we'll only ever have this up for a long passage at night,
yeah,
with jib only conditions, and then that's the only time we'll do it. So towing the dinghy as well today, which is another little lazy feature of the fact we're only going 4 miles upriver. And what's even more lazy is I'm wearing my granddad's slippers. These East Coast rivers, to me, they're hugely underrated. The good news is that keeps a lot of people away. If you had 20% of the boats from the south coast here, I think it might spoil it. This is gorgeous. We found a lovely private little beach on the River Deben to watch a glorious sunset and have a little bottle of Prosecco. Cheers.
Cheers. Na zdrowie. It's a beautiful morning over River Deben. It's nearly 8 o'clock. What are you up to?
Do you know there was actually frost on the deck when I came out? Chilly morning, but the sun is lovely. What am I doing? I am on the foredeck in the sunshine, raising a cup with coffee and bemore in, even though it's not Saturday, for the simple reason that today we celebrate a dude that rode into town, rescued a princess, or pulled a princess, slayed a dragon, and gave water to the entire community. Now, if that's not a hero worth celebrating and raising a glass to, I don't know what is. Cheers, St. George.
Cheers, St. George. There's ice on the deck.
On the 23rd of April.
23rd of April?
St. George's Day!
That's my mum's birthday and my sister Amelia's birthday.
Well, you better get on the phone then and tell them that they've been celebrating their birthday with St. George for the last X amount of years.
I'm gonna do that right now. Wow. Last year I forgot.
Your poor mum gave birth on her birthday.
Yeah.
That's torture, surely.
That's torture any day or night, but on your birthday it's like...
Oh, goodness.
In your face.
Surprised she didn't strap her legs together with a great big belt just to put it off for one more day. You probably can't put that, can you?
Probably not.
Next dinghy mission was upriver, past lots of houses where we'd happily live if we ever decided to permanently drop anchor, although that is not likely. And then finally to the beautiful Woodbridge tide mill. To me this is magical, walking along here. This isn't a voyage of discovery, I've been here many times. But sometimes when you know what's at the end of a journey, you know it's going to be sweet when you get there. And the River Deben is just that to me. Some people say the East Coast rivers aren't up to much. Too many sandbanks, that's what people say. Yes, you've got to be careful of those. But to me, when you put a bit of effort in, the result is so much more worthwhile. And this is the epitome of that, as far as I am concerned. The path along the sea wall continues northeast of Woodbridge Tide Mill. Here you will find some houseboats, some wrecks, and also some boats that deserve a little more attention. Look closer and you will see 2605. That's HSL, High Speed Launch. And also 2656, used during World War II for the retrieval of pilots and aircrew who had been shot down over or had to ditch in the sea around the British Isles. The Royal Air Force Marine Branch motto, "The sea shall not have them." Ah, the lovely watering field. Next step on our Deben River tour.
Is it working?
Yeah. Lovely, thank you. Sorry for being so bad.
No, you'll be a good boy for the future.
That may look a bit weird, but Ash is a witch doctor, really. I think it's a Polish thing. She has all these weird sort of remedies. And I've suffered for a long time with lower back issues, and she said stinging them with nettles would help. I didn't believe a word of it. But I have to say, we have stung it a few times, and it has been pretty good lately. And Asher swears by it. There you are, Miss Whiplash with nettles.
You enjoy it, don't deny.
Well, here we are at the Maybush, wonderful pub. So happy to see it open. Sitting on the grass here, unfortunately it's so busy that we've waited quite a long time to get a drink. So we've decided not to drink at this place of worship, but we've decided to go and worship at the Altor. So that's what we're going to do.
There is a lot of activity on the River Deben, as it's Saturday. It's a beautiful day. There is a racing going on down the river. I love it. Fantastic.
What's fantastic there?
It's fantastic there. Look at the gaffer.
Well, we got the anchor up quite nicely. The tripping line was wound round it a few times. The snubbing line had actually come undone, but there was no wind, so we were never actually tight on the chain. Well, we're good here. We've got a couple of port hand markers coming up, which Asher is going to beautifully take down the starboard side on our way past the rocks and then round the corner to Ramsholt. Well, Watering Field was an absolutely beautiful little spot, and we did finally get our beer in the Maybush, which made up for the sins of not managed to get a beer in a pub beforehand, so we're all good. So the next step on the Deben River tour is Ramsholt. Now, just by sheer coincidence, that also has a pub, so we will mark the occasion accordingly. Well, we've picked up the buoy, which is good. Ash is giggling to herself up there, finding something amusing about the weedy rope that we've picked up. See, look at her. Honestly, I'm like a charity. It's home to the special needs. This game is all about having the right tools at your disposal. With the tide out, a long slipway, you need a decent set of wheels. Works really well, I have to say. Not too difficult, very low maintenance, and she pulls very well. Well, I've just had some disappointing news from George over there, who looks after the moorings like his dad did.
a tender age of 91 he is now, isn't he? And he just informed us that the Ram's Holt Arms closed today at 4 PM. It's 12 till 4 at the moment, until Friday and Saturday nights. So we will just have to postpone the beer at the Ram's Holt Arms until tomorrow, perhaps 12 till 4, and then maybe Friday, and then maybe Saturday, who knows. What's that?
It's nettles for tea.
As I keep saying, she's a strange one.
I was confused. This foraging, nettles for tea, it had to mean something. And then, of course, I realised. It was full moon. That night, we conducted a meditation in the cockpit. And whilst I fully embraced the benefits of meditation, on this occasion I was thinking of only one thing. Please open the pub tomorrow.
This is a bit more like it. Got some life at the Ram's Holt Arms.
So my wish had come true, but believe me, we weren't out of the woods yet. The full moon can be a strange time for some. Be afraid, stand back, keep well clear.
Honestly,
I'm not finished.
don't mess with a ginger pole. She's going around saving trees from the vines. We could be here for a while. Come on, Nod Jockey, we've got a walk to do.
Saving trees.
Fortunately, the rest of the day passed without incident, and we wandered off for a lovely walk around the Ram's Holt countryside. We visited this lovely round tower church that overlooks the river, and were pleased to see a sign that said the grounds had been designated as a sanctuary for wildlife. And that lovely little walk around the church and back down to the front brings us nicely back to the pub and then on board to Altor. And I think that really concludes our tour of the Deben, which has been fantastic, hasn't it?
Back to Altor. Not for another pint?
Well, I think the pub's shut.
Oh, right.
There you go.
Okay, Asher, I'll get my pub opening manifestation going again. But this does conclude our lovely time on the River Deben. This is another firm favourite of mine that conjures up so many wonderful childhood memories that I know I am so lucky to have. It has been our pleasure to share some of the lovely times we've had with you in this episode of Adventure Now, and we thank you for coming along for the ride. We really hope you have enjoyed it, and if so, please stay tuned for more. Altor, out.
Look at that fine figure of a man standing on the side of his boat in the shadow there. Look. Oh yes, man. Ooh.